RowdCAST contains adult languages, adult themes, and adult situations. Viewer discretion is advised.
No! No! No!
Entering the RowdCAST, an online radio podcast brought to you by me, your host, Rowdy Radloff, live from Toledo, Ohio, doing it like I always do, bringing you the best of the best, often imitated, never duplicated, the one, the only, the motherfucking RowdCAST. From the internet, uncensored, unfiltered, saying whatever the hell I want to say, when I want to say it. You know how this goes. Welcome to the show. We're live from Bellevue, Ohio. Probably the last podcast that I will release in Bellevue, Ohio for a long time.
Maybe.
I am your host, Rowdy Radloff, and I have a special guest with me tonight. You may remember him from his podcast that he did called "We Messed It All Up, People," which was excellent. And also the Woodman Way podcast, or also the videos that he's released in episodes. It's amazing, some of the shit that he does. He's an avid hunter, good buddy of mine, and gotta welcome back Shane Hamer to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Rowdy.
Oh yeah, dude. Always a pleasure.
Am I really that special of a guest, though?
Yeah, awesome. I think so. I think you're the best conversation I ever have. So when
that's what's up.
We're on this, so I like to pick your brain. So what's new with you, man? What's been going on?
Oh, turkey hunting.
Yeah,
fucking that all up.
Didn't get one.
No. I could have shot it. Self-filming your own turkey hunts and self-filming your own deer hunts are two completely different tasks. It's turkeys can pick up on damn near any kind of movement. I believe they see in 2 dimensions instead of we see in 3 dimensions. They see in 2 dimensions, which essentially would be like looking at a flat piece of paper.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, and then seeing something on that piece of paper move, oh yeah,
pretty easy.
Yeah, I think so.
Not right.
I'm not sure, but I've called them in. I called in one first week. I think it might have been the first day. Called in a Jake, which is an adolescent, and I really didn't want to shoot him, but if he would have came, I had him at 10 yards. He'd come in behind me. Could have shot him more likely, but I was hoping he'd come around to the decoys, get on camera. Then I would have maybe shot him. Probably not. And then I called in a nice big tom. And it seemed like every turkey I called in this year would...
Tom's a big
male. Yeah.
Male.
And it's an adult male.
Gotcha.
And... they all hung up about 50 yards on me, and they didn't stick around long. So, only thing I can think of, these turkeys are they're educated. They've been hunted. They know what's up. Yeah. And they've seen their buddies like, "Hey man, I wouldn't go in there." Like, "No, dude, fuck you. I'm gonna get some pussy." Yeah, bam. Like, shit. I told you don't go in there. Turkeys. I've been told remember shit.
So that's how you lure them in. You make them sound like a...
Yeah, you go...
like a girl in heat, and then when they pop out,
Yeah, and they go,
they get fucking bushwhacked. That's, hey man.
And they, it was a good time. I'm not gonna lie, like I did have fun. It was a blast, but there's nothing like actually getting them, putting your hands on them. That's what hunting's about. I mean, that's what makes a hunt successful. Well, can't even say that because my hunts were successful. I had a good time.
Well, and that's I think the most important thing.
I just didn't get to bring home any nourishment.
You have you learn something, and you have a good time being out there in the woods and shit like that. That's
Well, I've always been real cocky when it comes to turkey hunting. I always go in there like, yeah, I'm gonna get my turkey. It's like, I'm good at it. When I go, I always get them, and we're hunting in the northern part of the state of Ohio, and the southern part of the state where you get some hills, get down the hills and everything. Those turkeys, that's a blast turkey hunt down there, because if you mess up on one, you got 5 more that were gobbling behind you. And fucking Kurt, a douchebag.
Creeper.
Yeah. And like up here, you're hunting these small farms, which, 50-acre farm with a 10-acre woods or something.
Yeah.
You go in there, you fuck it up, well, you're done for the day pretty much. It's not like Southern Ohio, you go on one bird, fuck it up, well, you go over 2 hills, you find another bird. It's so, and that's part of the frustration. I went out to Montana for work. I was hoping to get to do some.
How did that go?
Well, I was hoping to get to do some turkey hunting out there. Get out there, find a place to fucking turkey hunt. Go online to see how much tags and license are going to run me. And now you got to put in for a drawing like you do the big game out there. It's a lottery system. Which when I was out there 3 years ago turkey hunting, you could just buy everything over the counter. Which I guess I didn't do my homework, and that was kind of a bummer, but. The trip was fun. I was only out there for a week, but I was supposed to be out there for a few weeks. However, that did not work out.
How was the drive back? Like, how was the drive there? Going cross country.
I've done it so many times.
Yeah.
It's like driving to work.
Really?
Yeah. Like
wow.
I've been going. This route we go out there is the route we went when I was a kid, and we'd go into Wyoming deer hunting. So we did that 2 years in a row. So you kind of it was like a therapeutic highway. Like once you get out past, as soon as you get through Iowa into South Dakota, something really comes over you. Well, it really starts as soon as you cross the Mississippi River.
That's what I was going to say.
As soon as you cross the Mississippi River, you start, the explorer in you starts to get excited. The little kid that, during, watching animal shows and everything starts to come alive. And then you cross through Iowa, you're thinking of, oh man, all these great big white-tailed deer live in Iowa, and you see the terrain and all the cornfields that go on for miles. Excuse me. And as soon as you cross into South Dakota, it's like different ball game. It's like, fucking Little House on the Prairie kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck people live out here, man? Like, what's the number 1 cause of death in South Dakota? It's probably suicide. Like,
there's just nothing.
There's nothing fucking there. But as soon as you cross the Missouri River in South Dakota, it starts to change. And you start getting into some really big rolling hills. You get into Badlands. And then they got the Black Hills out there, which that's western South Dakota and eastern Wyoming.
Yeah.
And the reason they call it the Black Hills is when you're coming in on it, you're 50 miles from it or whatever, and you just see black. Like, you got all these rolling hills, and then you just see this line of black in the horizon. Like, what the fuck? Then you get closer, and it gets darker, and you get closer and closer, and then you're like, oh, those are the Black Hills. They're evergreen trees that took over. But from miles away, Custer, like, this is where Custer kind of went out and got his ass whipped by the Indians. And, when they're riding them fucking horses out there, you're saying, holy shit, man, look at the Black Hills.
Yeah.
That's how they got the name. And then you get through the Black Hills, and where you get there in Montana, where I was at, in southeastern Montana, they call it like a high elevation desert, basically. A lot of sagebrush.
Yeah.
they're mountains to us, basically, you know, coming from the east, but they're like high plateaus and, you know, just big rock formations and lots of canyons and stuff. And then once you get further out west, it's more, that's where the Rocky Mountains are out there, but didn't get to turkey hunt out there, so shot back to Ohio and gave it 3 fun days and no luck. It was a total bummer.
Yeah.
But it's hunting.
Yeah. You learn something and move on. I want to go with you. I want to get some shit. I want to get my license and go, dude. I think that would be so fucking cool to go on a hunt.
It's just, I mean, it's
fun.
Like for instance, like yesterday, I had deer running all around me. So, you know, I got turkeys gobbling and deer walking in front of me, you know, hanging out, hearing all different kinds of birds chirping, seeing, you know, like the green from the new life of all the leaves and everything. Just like, it's almost like a different shade of green right now than it is like in like August or something. It's like, just makes you...
It's like a different world.
Well, you're feeling the energy from the plants. Like, you know, like, we just got through winter, basically. Now we got all the leaves on the trees and all, you know, the grass is starting to grow and the flowers are popping. Like, you kind of feel that new positive energy of life, you know, and it just being surrounded by it, you know, that's what it's about. You know, just enjoying nature, basically.
Well,
I'm not going to starve to death, you know, so...
But, I mean, anywhere you go in this, it's just amazing, just in this country, how states are different. You know, laws are different, and people act different. Like, that's just intense. I mean, you could drive 4 or 5 hours, and you're in a whole different world, a whole different...
And that's totally what's up, too, because like I was saying, you know, I kind of drifted off. But I've been making this trip since I was a kid, you know, a couple times whitetail hunting in Wyoming, another time, you know, same, you know, I can basically do the trip without an atlas.
Yeah.
You know.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, and been to Wyoming mule deer antelope hunting, and been to Montana a couple times, been to Idaho, and it's all the same path, basically, and... It's like I said, it's therapeutic, you know. It's here, I'm like clustered. You got the city on top of you and everything. Then you get out there and it's nothing, you know. It's the towns that are, you know, 40 miles apart. They're like little flat rocks. You know, 1,000 people at the most. A lot of these towns,
tons of little ones. Yeah,
and you know, being out there and seeing how difficult it is to get goods, you know, cheap, you know, basically like they can. You know, rape you on a gallon of milk or whatever. Yeah. Just because, well, what are you going to do? You're going to drive 70 miles out of town to save $1?
Yep.
You know, so they kind of, and it kind of makes you appreciate being in this clusterfuck we call the city, you know, or back east, whatever you want to call it.
They do that shit up peninsula.
Well, Alaska's what's, you know, it's like $10 for a gallon of milk in Alaska, you know. And you don't think of shit like that. Like, you go, oh, I'm going to move to Alaska. Yeah, I got a job for $20 an hour. Yeah, I'm going to live good, man. I'm living, you know, get a good job. And you get up there and it's like, oh, shit, I'm poor as fuck because the laundry soap, $20 a jug, you know, fucking cereal. You can't afford to do anything. That's why, you know, I don't know, it's ridiculous. But like you're saying, just like, each state has its own different laws, you know. Definitely. Each state has its own, you know. I could be, you know, in a, you know, Montana was a medical marijuana state. You know, I didn't have a medical card, but if I was to get pulled over with marijuana, hey man, that guy's got a little bit of weed on it, you know. Or they could be like, oh, he's, you know, they can bust
get
my
out
ass.
of the car.
Yeah, you know, but you're in that. You're in that environment where, you know, a cop might have discretion on you. Like, oh, man, my wife does it too, you know. Yeah, fuck it, you know, I hit it every now and then. I ain't gonna, you know, shit like that. Yeah. And I mean, I got a drug test by a person one time. She was like, I can tell you're going to pass. You seem confident. Some people come in here and you can just tell they're going to fail. And it's like, you knew you smoked pot 3 days ago. Why'd you even come in? It's like, you know. And she's like, I'm not going to lie. I smoke a little bit of weed here and there. I know pot does nothing wrong. It's like, and I wanted to be like, you know, me too. But that's not the case. Or, you know, then you cross over to the next fucking state, and, you know, you get busted with fucking stems and seeds, you're going to prison.
Yeah,
like,
they try to put you in prison.
It makes you think, like, I don't know what it makes you think of, but it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem fair. I mean, I'm not getting busted fucking taking apples across the fucking state line, or, you know, or it's weird.
It is weird. It really is.
And then you get out there and you're on the Indian the Indian reservations all over out there. A lot of Native Americans. This is what I thought was real ironic. See, like right the area I was in, Harding was pretty close. That's where Battle of the Little Bighorn Custer's Last Stand was.
Yeah.
And I've been out there, and it's real weird to, like, because, like, you go in the museum and they don't have, like, paintings of, like, fucking, like, Custer and, like, 50 guys on top of this hill, and, like, they wrote in, there was, like, I don't know, let's say 500 Custer's troops. And they rode into a Sioux, which are the Lakota people. Sioux means, like, enemy to, like, the rest of the Indian nations. That's what they call it. Oh, enemy, Sioux.
Really?
But they were the Lakota people. And their winter camp there, and there was, like, 6,000 these, you know, and these motherfucking Indians, they ain't, like, little dudes.
Yeah.
They're not, like, 5'3", like, little Comanche, like, you know, hide behind a bush, you know, slit your throat without you looking. Yeah. No, these dudes are fucking big, like, like fucking, like, 6 foot to 6'5" to, really? You know, big motherfucking dudes. Like,
holy fuck.
Yeah. So it makes you think, like, a whole level of toughness they really were. Like, you don't want, like, some badass Indian been eating peyote his whole life, killing buffalo, fighting off enemies and shit. Custer's like, you know, single shot fucking rifles and shit. But they have, like, paintings of, like, they're on this fucking hill, and then, like, swarms of horses ride in circles around them, and then, like, as people are, like, they're fucking getting closer and closer, and like, but what I found ironic was you have, I believe it was Cheyenne, which is like former Lakota or Sioux, I believe too. Not quite sure. But the Cheyenne Indian Reservation was literally like a mile apart from the Custer National Forest.
Really?
So here you get your Indian reservation, and then like a slap in the face, like, oh, yeah, you know those guys that came out and tried killing you all off and everything? Yeah, we're going to honor him with more land next to your little Indian reservation.
Oh, wow.
You know, oh, we got this national forest. Everyone's allowed in, but we're going to call it Custer National Forest, not the Lakota People National Forest. It's kind of like, I don't know, like, seemed ironic, seemed like a slap in the face. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't know, like you have a rapist come in and, like, rape a kid and kill her or something. And then, like, you create, like, a national park for her. Like, oh, here's a national park. And then, like, oh, that raper dude, we're going to create his own national park, too, because, well, he worked for the government, you know? Like,
dude, I mean, what was the thing you were telling me before?
About the hysterectomies?
Yeah, dude. And
I've never, like, seen a documentary on it or anything, but I had heard about it. That,
what was it again?
Well, you know how they would, you know, it goes back to smallpox. How they would, you know, they'd give birth to infants, wrap them in smallpox blankets.
Yeah.
And they were trying to basically make them go extinct. Like, just kill them off. Kill them down to where there's so few we don't ever have to worry about them. We don't have to take care of them anymore. So, you know, basically how, you know, it started way back when. Well, then they'd get them on these reservations, and they don't give them proper health care, you know, proper funding for schooling, anything like that. And so they have to go to a lot of free clinics. Well, these doctors would see, like, you know, a drunk mother come in with her 16-year-old daughter, and they're both pregnant. You know, like, oh, these kids don't stand a chance, you know. Yeah. They're both knocked up together, you know, who knows, probably from the same guy, you know, who knows. So what these guys would start doing, these doctors would start doing, like, they would be like, oh, you have something matter with your insides, you know, like, whatever. You know, they'd go in there and end up giving, like, a hysterectomy without them even knowing. So then, like, they'd be trying to have kids, you know, have kids, and, you know, there was investigations and shit like that all about it.
Wow,
I don't know.
That's fucking
it's a travesty.
Yeah.
But yeah, and here's something I found too. Back, like, we're here in Ohio, and basically anywhere back east, you have all these mascot teams, like school mascots. Like ours is the Bellevue Redmen.
Yeah.
Port Clinton's like the
Redskins.
The Redskins.
Yeah.
There's you have all these, slang term, for the Indians or whatever. You get out there, you don't see fucking schools called the Redskins, it's like the Yodies, the Doggies, the Cowboys, the Bull Riders, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not
like here, we don't really understand it. It's kind of
because we don't see Indians.
Yeah.
You go out there's Indians all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
And there's, like I went into the weight room there and I had a Bellevue football shirt on. I was glad it didn't say Redmond football on it.
Yeah.
It just said Bellevue football. Like, oh man,
they got lucky today.
Yeah. But I find it disturbing actually. Like, what's the difference between saying Bellevue Redmond and Bellevue Wops?
Nothing.
Or the Bellevue
Nothing.
Spicks?
It's exactly the same.
I don't get that. I don't get how someone hasn't brought it up. Like,
there are people, but they just don't pick up enough momentum, when they say that, like the Cleveland Indians and stuff.
Well, I mean, those guys have millions of dollars to go to court and battle with it.
Yeah.
But you go pick on these little schools. Hey, motherfucker, that's racist shit. I'm offended. Well, you're not even Native American. Yeah, I'm offended. White people are tolerant of this. Like, times are changing. You got to change with them. What? I wouldn't have no trouble calling ourselves the Warriors. Or the Gladiators.
That's not bad, yeah.
That's not... Basically, you're single out one race, And if people stood up, if we started a petition or just went in and filed a lawsuit, saying, hey, we're offended, this is racist.
It is racist as fuck.
Our little school district here, they're not going to have the money to fight it. They're going to have to change it. And then that's going to hit the news. And now all the schools in Ohio are going to have to change it. And the next thing you know, everywhere's changing it. And next thing you know, NFL, we better change the name of the Redskins. Well, we'll just sell the fucking team. Sell the fucking team.
Yeah, fuck
No one gives a fuck about the Redskins.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's like if we're going to change the name many times.
Oh my God, RG3.
But I think that's what some of the reason they don't change it too is because there's so many. It's like if they acted on one level, it's like, oh, now they all have to change.
But how many, is there really that many? You got the Chicago Blackhawks. They have like an Indian. But what exactly is a Blackhawk? Was that a tribe? I mean, if you're honoring a tribe, I don't find that offensive.
I don't either. But when you're calling them Redskins and
that
kind of shit,
hey, Blackie, come here, Blackie.
That's offensive to them, yeah.
That's offensive to me.
Yeah.
What I like Native. What if I hooked up with a Native American woman, wanted to bring her back home?
Just like,
and then she's like, "Oh, what the fuck is this? This Redmond shit? You're a racist.
You're a racist bitch.
Yeah,
you son of a bitch. What? You're fucking talking about?
You bring me home for some kind of weird prank or something? Yeah. You into some kind of weird shit? You racist fuck?
Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. That's some crazy shit, man.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. We don't even know the atrocity, of an atrocity of what actually happened. We get a dumbed down version. Like they leave out the big facts and the big details. It's.
Everything's dumbed down. I just drove across the country, dude. People they're not. It's weird. There's a lot of weird people, and they're TV junkies.
Oh yeah.
They just they don't think outside. They don't even think for themselves. They let other people think for them.
Yeah.
And that's what I see a lot. That's what kind of shocks me. What's going on and shit. It's like, whoa, is anyone thinking here?
No.
Has someone thought?
Like autopilot.
Oh, no, man, he told me to do it like this. Well, that dude was wrong,
Yeah, that sounds like fucking, a lot of people, they're just on autopilot. Oh, that's what's cool now? Yeah, that's what's cool. That's what I do now? Oh, that's what, all right, that's how I talk. Yeah,
circumcision. Okay, if you told me, like, hey, man, everyone's doing it, I'd be like, what? Like, yeah, man, that skin on the tip of your dick, everyone's cutting it off. Like, I don't know, man. You know, like...
Man, it's painful to even think about.
Yeah,
they say they
but
do it when
like...
you're young and it's not that bad, but oh, man.
I mean, think about that. That's what you're doing to your kid.
Yeah.
You know, when they're born, they're like, hey, man, it's the new thing. It's the new thing.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Welcome here.
Yeah.
Welcome to this world. We're going to cut your dick. Pat you on the ass. Fucking send you on. Fucking get in line. We're going to stamp this number on you and fucking
just a
control
fucking
every
number.
move. What's your credit score?
Yeah.
You're as good as your credit score.
That's basically it.
Yeah. A number that's made up from credit bureaus. So they have an influence on my life and how people finance me and loan me because of what credit bureaus do. Like, you know, they're not creditable at all. They're fucking, you know, those are where the demons are, dude. That's where the fucking scum of the society is, dude. And
just money in general.
Dude, definitely greed.
Well, that's what it is. Like, I feel like I don't know. Maybe human beings.
Holy wow.
What the fuck was that? Oh, your thing.
Yeah, it was the microphone or the
like.
speaker.
Wonder if there's a time before there was greed, like, you know, just simple Indian civilizations or like cavemen. Like, when did greed start? Like, dude, like, it was like.
Speaking
I want them all.
Of that, dude.
Give me all these dinosaur bones. These are mine.
Speaking of dinosaurs and cave people, this guy that I work with, you know, we won't say no names, but he's Jehovah's Witness, dude. And I mean, bro,
you don't work with too many people.
There's some fucking cults, dude.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but Jehovah's Witness might be. I mean, I don't know if it's a cult, but what they believe is it's almost as bad as Scientology. It's almost as bad as believing.
What do they believe in? My great grandma was a Jehovah's Witness, but I think they called her up.
They believe, yeah, dude. That's what they do.
They came over, like,
yep. Get yourself inside. And
then they'll like start stealing your shit. Like, oh, the church needs this. Like, they were like, my great grandma was like giving all like her couch. Like, oh yeah, you can take the couch, you can take it all. You know, like my mom would have like the land, like, because she lived in it was a nice trailer. And we'd be like, oh, my grandma lived in a trailer. Like, it was a fancy fucking trailer. You know, nice little community trailer.
I just seen one the other day. It was fucking luxury.
Like the lady, like neighbor, would call my mom. Oh, the damn Jehovah's Witnesses are over here again, taking all your grandma's shit. You better get over here. You know?
No fucking way, man.
But anyways, what they believe in or how they preach your shit.
Well, they one thing, like, the guy like that I talk with, you know, I didn't just pick his brain. I'm not saying he's right or wrong or anything. I just think he tried to tell me that the Earth is only 40,000 years old. He told me that's what he believes.
Well, the Bible says it's only 5.
Yeah, see, they have their own Bible, and I think they like rewrite it all the time. Like, when shit happens, that's not in there. It's like some shit like that, and they're
just making it up as they go.
Yeah, and he's like, show me. He's like, you know, everybody talks about evolution and everything. He's like, show me one animal that evolved into another animal. I'm like, there's lots of animals that have evolved into other animals. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, no, dude, there's no way.
I'll give you one for an example. Mule deer.
Yeah.
At one time, there was no mule deer. There was white-tailed deer.
Yeah.
Like white-tailed deer, elk, and moose. Yeah. Okay? And then when something with the Ice Age... these motherfuckers, they got trapped in the Rocky Mountains. Like, this big ice sheet come down, like, trapped them in the Rocky Mountains where the rest of the deer could come down into the plains and stuff.
Yeah.
And these fucking deer got stuck in the fucking mountains or in an isolated patch of the mountains from all the other deer. And they fucking, over, you know, the course of thousands of years, their ears got bigger, they're more gray. They're just a completely different animal.
Yeah.
And, you know, and... I get that question. Like I tell people, like, oh yeah, we definitely evolved, and they're like I kind of believe it, but how come we don't? How come animals? How come monkeys still aren't turning into people? It's like you don't understand evolution. You will never be able to see it because it takes a million years to like see. You know, like the opposable. You know, like one time with no thumbs or something.
Dude, that's what I always think about the aliens, dude. They say like
we are
they look
the
weird.
Aliens,
they look weird. And they got heads. Dude, how do you know if when we evolved in fucking
that's
10,000 years, what we're going to look like?
We're going to evolve.
Little big brains.
Yeah,
and shit, dude.
We're all going to be able to have telepathic communication. Like I feel at one time we used to always have it. Like you know when we were in the jungles running around, we had like some kind of connection. Like for instance, like we still have it. Like when you're walking down the street with your buddy and like you see like a dude like walk out of a store and like kind of trip for a second and like. You know, it's funny, and like you hope your buddy's seen it too, and like you're so excited, you turn, you look at your buddy, and your buddy's already looking at you, and you already had that same thought, like you know, like you don't even have to talk, you know, shit like that.
Yeah, that happens a lot, man.
And I honestly, I think that's what we are. We're evolving into the aliens with the big fucking heads. And when we see UFOs, we're just time traveling then.
I agree with that. That's exactly how I see it too, man.
Yeah, but the evolution, you know, that takes thousands of years. You know, the polar bear, you know, that wasn't an animal at one time. Through a genetic mutation, a baby was born white. And that baby thrived over the black one, so when he had babies, or she had babies, there was 2 more white ones. So these white ones are doing way better at catching seals. Well, next thing you know, there's all these white ones, and then the black ones are like, well, fuck, man, ain't doing no good up here, you know?
The bears?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. That's an example, a perfect example.
Yeah. I just watched the fucking
evolution.
Cosmos, man.
Yeah.
Like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
That shit will blow your fucking mind.
For sure. He's a genius.
Just how the eyes, how we evolved into having eyes. Not even we as in humans, just animals. It all started with, you know, 2 forms of, you know, a bacteria or something. Or some kind of shit in these fucking waters, little microbes. But like this bacteria, like some would thrive on the light and would go to the light. And then these other ones would feed on the dark or some shit and would go down the bottom. Well, eventually, the dark ones or some shit would get a divot in their head that would pick up on rays of sunlight, so it knew to go down. And then then like that bacteria like evolves into another bacteria with a little bit more of depression. Shit. And then, you know, it's going and, like, they evolve into, like, 2 species. And then, like, the one species dies out because the other one has a little bit better of an eye. And then it just goes through all the steps of the eye as we know it, you know, every form of eye. And it was showing, like, the predators, like, swimming through the water. Like, this is what it would look like if you were, a batshit bug or something. You know, I don't know no fucking names, no fucking animals back in the day. But it would, like, show, like, this cloudy vision. And then you'd be like, oh, what the fuck is that shadow coming closer? What the fuck is that? And then you just see a mouth. And then it would go on to the next fucking fish when, like, its eyes was it starting to form a retina. So it's, like, picking up on, like, you know, like rocks on the bottom and stuff, but then like it sees a shadow. I'm like, oh, what's that in the distance? And then that's like, oh, this one has an eye and a cornea and a retina, and it's like it can fucking see. And
that's wild.
You know, it just
that is wild.
It's awesome shit, man.
Yeah, that's some fucking.
I'll probably get all stoned and watch it tonight.
Yeah, dude,
because it's that good. I've watched it like 3 or 4 times.
I've watched some of it.
Even they even go through the evolution of dogs, like how dogs are made. Like, really? Oh, dude, it's so trippy.
Really?
Just this universe is so trippy. We should be spending time thinking about what's going on in the universe and how fascinating this planet is. But everyone's so busy and like, oh, dude, I want to get that fast car. And
my thing is always like, let's go to Mars. Like, all right, go to Mars. Like, our planet's fucking cool enough. Like, let's explore
the fucking.
Let's
the deep sea.
Let's not get on a thing and try to everybody get off this motherfucker. Yeah. Let's try to fix it before it fucking does get like that, you know?
That makes me think too. Well, that
You think like in the future there's going to be like those crazy sandstorms and shit like in Interstellar and like weird
I think after watching
tornadoes
Interstellar, I kind of think we're fucked. Like we already fucked it up. There ain't no fixing it.
Might be.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Might be.
fuck it, man. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
I know something I was going to...
But here's
go ahead.
When I was driving across fucking South Dakota. Okay, I work in coal burning power plants, nuclear power plants, blah, 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 blah. Solar panels and wind turbines. You're seeing all like these fancy wind turbines, going across South Dakota. I would rather not have electricity than litter the fucking nation with these windmills.
Yeah.
I would rather have fucking no electricity than to drive across the country seeing fucking windmills everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're fucking. It's
and what happens when they get out of like, like there's a new alternate or like a alternate energy source comes along and then we don't use them. What happens to all those windmills? You just leave them there. They fall over.
Yep, basically. So they rust out. Yeah. Fucking. And
you can see all kinds of old selfie tires all over.
I'm definitely for
towers.
Solar panels. I think the government should be fucking. Well, that's the thing too. Look at how much tax dollars get spent from electric companies.
Yeah.
If everyone's got their own solar panels, well, that's more money the government's not getting. They want these fucking powers. It's the politics. It has nothing to do with who. These guys don't give a fuck about the environment.
No, not at all.
They give us
money.
Money. That's
check. There's a check coming, dude. And how much is that check worth? That's what nobody's best interest has anything. The only interest is how fat that wallet's going to be.
Yeah.
If
these guys were serious about cleaning the environment up, look at the fucking Gulf. The oil spills.
Oh yeah.
Like the one in the Prince William Sound up in Alaska or whatever, where they're like, oh yeah, it's all cleaned up. And they're like, oh, it's cleaned up. Yeah, that was like 20 years ago, maybe even longer. I remember I was in elementary school when it happened, and they're like, yep, it's all clean. Yep, from looking at the top of the surface, it looks pretty clean. But can I ask you, where have all the birds?
Yeah,
there ain't even any birds around here. He's like, give me that shovel over there. He digs down like 12 to 24 inches. Yeah, that's all oil. Put your hand in it. They put their hand in it, pull it up, hands covered in oil. Like, yeah, it's clean.
Wow. They did the same thing, the exact same thing in the BP thing.
Yeah, that's...
BP putting all those commercials out. All the people are like, yeah, thanks BP, you saved my business. And it has all these people that, it was on the Facebook I seen. It was on the news. They were talking about their Facebook and how all the people were like, I live there. My shrimp, it ruined my shrimp business. Yeah.
Like
I'm no longer in business anymore. It's like, yeah, I go out every morning and I scrape fucking oil off the surface of the fucking ocean and try to clean it up because there's still shit everywhere.
Yeah.
It's see that's the thing. Like with that though, you wonder, and they have all these people like, oh yeah.
See, what people don't realize either that there's oil being leaked into the ocean all over the planet, naturally.
Yep.
There's just cracks in the ground and oil gushing out. And what people don't realize, how big the fucking ocean is.
Yeah.
It's fucking huge. And it can take shit like that. It's obviously taking the radioactive shit from fucking... whatever, fucking Japan over there.
The radon, the gas... radon gas, you know what that is? It's decaying uranium in the earth, and it seeps up. It's gas, and if
it comes up naturally.
Yeah, it's always around you all the time. You breathe outside, but it's like outside. There's like a level of 0.3.
Yeah, parts per
or
million.
something like that. Yeah, and but that's the problem. If you live in your basement and you fucking sit down there all the time, you got a man cave, dude. You sucking in fucking radon gas all the time. It'll give you lung cancer. It'll give you cancer. From too much uranium, dude. Listen to this guy that fucking my dad knew. He worked at Davis Bessie.
Yeah.
Came in one day, fucking the alarm's going off, dude, saying his fucking levels. He's fucking motherfucker's almost glowing.
Yeah.
fucking they go and find out, dude. Yeah, he's radon was like fucking like a level 4. You have to act on by the EPA. It's like 260. Dude, this dude's setting off fucking detectors and shit. Dude.
I set the new state record.
It's like you just hum. You hear a hum like when you walk around.
It's like you haven't noticed you've been glowing. Like, well, I kind of thought like my smile was a little brighter. That's about it.
It's like, yeah, oh, dude, that happened. It started happening like 2
man, I
months
started
ago.
using that cocoa butter, man.
It's like, no, I fucking pick things up with my mind. I fucking, like, I fucking fly to work.
You know that storm last Thursday? This guy.
Yeah, dude, that's a... Dude, but this is one thing, this is kind of a weird off-the-wall question when you're talking about, like, the forest earlier and survival and shit. Would you, dude, what would, like, the people, you ever seen the movie Alive, dude, about the flight
Dude,
that crashed?
we should do a Survivor Man episode.
Yeah.
We'll just go out in the fucking woods and just camp out. I don't know, it sounds a little gay.
Just survive it?
But, yeah, on mushrooms.
All right.
And then we'll document it for all the RowdCAST fans.
That would be fucking cool.
And we'll edit it into, like, a little hour episode or something.
I'm down for that. That
All
sounds
right,
fucking
that sounds
awesome.
We'll just sit by a fire and eat mushrooms and then get out the camera and be like, dude, man, you ever think about this shit, dude?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a cell in a greater organism throughout this, in all the other planets in the solar system.
We gotta make it like Survivor Man too.
Yeah, of course. Like I'm gonna get like a red do-rag, put it on and shit, and
yeah, dude.
You know, like canoeing on mushrooms.
Yeah, dude, that sounds fucking awesome. I'm down for that. That sounds like a new show, dude.
It does.
Yeah.
We'll just start our own fucking Survivor Man show.
That sounds pretty
My
fucking
hunting
awesome,
show
dude.
totally tanked, so we're going Survivor, man.
Dude, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. No, but what I was asking though, like the people in Alive, they crashed this fucking plane in the middle of the fucking, I think it was the Rockies. And
what, the soccer team?
They started eating each other. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. They crashed in the middle of the Andes. That was like.
Was it the Andes?
Yeah, it was the Swedish soccer team. I seen that movie.
Yeah.
It was a good flick.
It's a crazy movie.
Yeah, where they essentially they think a fucking rescue ship's coming to get them, or rescue plane's coming to get them.
Yeah.
And one day, dude's like, dude, they're not coming. We need to start walking. And we're like, well, we need to start eating first. What are we gonna eat?
Dude,
Steve's ass.
Yeah, dude. It's like I'm gonna eat him fucking asshole first.
Yeah.
Fucking Chris sent me a message. It said, "Survival of the fittest is the way of the human race." I agree with that, man.
That's very true.
You gotta fucking. That's evolution's finest, dude. You fucking you level up, you surpass something, and you become greater, like you said.
Well, and that's what evolution is survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
I mean, because whoever's the fittest is the one getting the spread on their genes. So whether, if you have fucking longer arms than everyone else and we go back to living in fucking trees, well, guess what? Dude with the longer arms probably going to have more kids than me that are going to live to grow and then,
And that's, that is, you get smarter. That's the people that are the smartest are the people that have a lot of shit happen to them. They learn from that shit.
Yeah. You got to learn from your mistakes. I mean,
that's
the key to it.
Yeah.
If you're that dumb fuck that keeps making the same mistake over and over, well,
you're
sorry,
bro.
bro.
You're pretty much insane because that's the definition of insanity is repeating the same mistake without ever getting a conclusion or a.
I thought the
solution.
definition of insanity was Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama. Bush or Clinton. I thought that was the definition of insanity.
You have a point there. You have but anyways, I keep getting sidetracked on all this.
Yeah, I keep cutting you off.
But it's what I'm asking you is
what I'm good at.
Could you ever if you find yourself in that situation, would you fucking kill somebody?
Would I kill
if
them?
they were dead? No, if they were dead.
If they were dead,
would you eat human? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you had to survive.
If I had to survive, I wouldn't.
I knew you would say that.
I wouldn't want to. But good chances are, I'm coming back with flaming yon deer chops or some shit. You
should be able to catch something.
I might actually have to instead of eat you, take off your shin bone and whittle it down to like fucking spear points and like use your shin to like
Dude,
kill a deer.
All right, that was pretty graphic. I didn't say eat me. I said eat somebody. But you're saying you're gonna eat me.
Well, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
You'd be the last person I'd want to eat.
I wouldn't want to eat you either, man. But like you said, I don't know how to hunt. You got a better chance of killing something. If not, I'm going human. It's like, all right, well, I tried to kill that rabbit. Didn't work out. He's next.
Like, I come back with, like, fucking rabbits and trout and Robbie's ass-deep face versus some fucking co-pilot's ass. It's like, bro, man, I've been gone 45 minutes. Like, yeah, I got kind of hungry.
Yeah, man. But, dude, cannibalism is, like, that's one thing. Like, I don't get scared. Like, you know, even, like, going into the ghetto and shit.
What's scary about it is there's cannibals out there.
I know, man.
Islands full of fucking cannibals. And they're like, well, that's their natural ways. We're going to preserve it and let them do their thing.
Dude, I mean, there's people that, there's like little villages that they like burn ashes on their bodies and rub it on their face. And Rogan was talking about something like that, you know? And it's like, dude,
weren't they
drinking human blood out of like
skulls
and shit, dude. Like, it's just fucking creepy, man. That kind of shit freaks me out a little bit, man. Like you said, there's people. But the thing is, you think that's creepy? There's dudes living in Ohio somewhere in a shack that eat fucking people. You know what I'm saying? Pretty sure.
Yeah.
There probably is. Like Ed Gein, like fucking the dude to that Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's what he was. He had like his mom in a freezer. He was like eating people's faces and shit. And all his furniture was made out of human skin. Like, dude, yeah, man, that shit's trippy as fuck. That's creepy, and that's just Wisconsin in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
like you're saying,
when we had Jeffrey Dahmer, he was from fucking Ohio.
Yeah.
My ex-girlfriend's uncle roomed with him at Ohio State.
That's really creepy.
I'm like, what was he like? He was like, you know, he was just quiet, read a lot of books.
Thought about killing me. He almost killed me 4 times.
You know,
like,
how many
how'd you
times
know?
I stood over your bed with a knife in my hand.
Put it right to your throat. Breathe heavy.
Then
in
we
your
had
face.
the fucking kidnapper dude that had the fucking sex slaves for over fucking.
That was pretty nuts.
That was crazy.
Man,
But,
I ate ribs with that dude.
Yeah.
I listened to salsa music with him, man. We just did normal kinds of things. It's like, dude, you're a black me from the hood, and you say you listen to salsa music. How many girls you got in your basement, too, you fucking creep?
Oh, man.
Dude, that was pretty crazy, dude.
But think of how many fucking people are like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not the only ones. There's a bunch of fucking people in this country that, I don't know, this country's actually a scary place.
It's a very scary place.
Like, we don't know about it because, like, a lot of these small towns, you know, it's just small town living. You don't have these problems in the small towns, and which isn't necessarily, but I don't know. It's like you hear so many bad things on the news. Oh, mother kills her whole family today. Oh, guy goes crazy and shoots up a school. Like, you hear it every day, so you're numb to it. Yeah. It's like, and then it's not until it happens in your fucking town or next town over, you know. It's
like, oh, dude was just, homeless dude was crazy how bath salt started eating somebody's face. Like, you know, you just hear the weirdest shit.
But you get numb to it.
You see any of those meth head zombie fucking things?
I don't know.
I show you the one where the dude's like scooting on his ass, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking tase you, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tase you, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he was on.
No, dude.
He was on quite a fucking concoction.
Yeah, that's fucking days and days of not sleeping and
I don't know what that is.
Hard drugs.
I don't have a
clue.
He's
doing something nobody's even done before, dude.
I don't have a clue what this dude was on.
Oh, man.
Not a clue. I've been on a lot of shit, too. Had a lot of strange thoughts up in this head.
Me too, man. Let's see if I can find one of these. Fucking, I mean, there's people out there. You've seen the one, too, where the guy is laying down and they start tasing him and he jumps up and just runs away. He's like,
I showed you that.
Yeah, that one's fucking great, dude. That one's so great.
Well, the one where the dude's naked and he does a cartwheel after he's getting like tackled by like 5 cops and like somehow like it was like the cartoons like when they like all pile on the dude and like he comes crawling out from underneath of them and like walks away like Bugs Bunny or some shit. It's basically what that was like, and then he does like a cartwheel as he's getting away. That's, you know what we haven't seen in a while?
What's that?
Fuck her right in the pussy.
No, they did just the other day.
They have a new one?
There's the one where she's a good-looking reporter, and he does it. He comes up, he's like sitting back the whole time. You can just see him like he can't wait. He just runs up and he's like, "Fuck her right in the pussy," and she's like goes up to him, is like, "Were you just standing back there? You guys just here, just waiting, just to say that? Have you been waiting?" He's like, "Yeah, I have," and she's like, "You know how degrading that is towards women? Like, just calls him like a complete asshole in front of everybody. Like, calls him out, and he's like, I don't care."
Let's see if I can find it. I want to see it. They need to have a .com button on the computer.
This dude.
You ever think of that? That's $1 million idea.
Yeah,
fucking .com button.
I think they do have one.
Not on this motherfucker.
No, maybe not mine, but
I've seen one like on your keypads on like phones and shit. Yeah, I've seen that one.
This guy is fucking nuts, man.
New fucker in the pussy.
Yeah. It's just this fucking crackhead. I'll put it back up on the RowdCAST page too. This thing is classic, man. I mean, some people think it's fucked up to laugh at guys that are on fucking drugs, but I think it's awesome.
How do you scroll down? You gotta use the...
Yeah, I think you can do it a different way, but I'm not positive.
You haven't changed it yet.
Though, there's like, now it's just everybody just does it. You
know?
All these random people fucking...
Well, that's what's cool about it. It caught on and everyone's fucking doing it. And like, you see like dudes like thinking about like, I'm gonna do it. And they're like, all right, sir, what is your thoughts on that? Fuck her in the pussy. They're like, they do it like pussy.
Dude, they had one.
Fuck her in the pussy.
The best one. Yeah, dude. It's like, it's so nervous. It's like,
is this
fucking
it
pussy.
right here? Is this the
Maybe.
one?
Dude, oh god, it's fucking classic, man. Well, the best one I've heard ever is I was watching it live on the news, and when that plane crashed in New York up there, like it kind of skidded off the runway, there was some football player that was on it, so the news like called him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we got him on the line, blah blah blah," and like he's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Yeah." He's like, it was real, it was real scary. It was, fuck her right in the pussy. And then they're like, "What was that, sir? What was that?" And you hear click. He hangs up, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I think he just said some inappropriate language." It's like, dude, somebody got him, dude. Fucking, he got him to believe that he was the fucking football player. But, these videos are fucking ridiculous.
Man, I want to see it.
But, it's something that did catch on. I think it's hilarious. And like I said,
it's the greatest thing ever, man.
And even when this like chick, like I was saying, this
well, they're reporting bullshit fucking news stories all the time. Like, that's what you get.
Yeah, it's like you get a taste of your own medicine.
Like, I don't know. I ain't gonna give fucking examples of shitty fucking fucker in the pussy. See it like that, like say it with this pair.
Look at this shit.
That's right, sir. I'm standing in front of one of them here at Mount Royal. There are still about 30 beds left.
The guy running, he gets
Fuck her
in her pussy.
Check it out. They have brought their Iron Man comics for the Iron Man himself, RDJ, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, this one's Deadpool, but it's alright.
I fuck her
right in the pussy.
Wow.
That's not what happened.
People are paying
The guy-
just to come to the reception.
That was a pretty good one.
The dickhead in the car ruined it.
He's like,
Said it before his buddies.
this guy walks past him and fucking nonchalant leans over and
It's
says,
like fuck her right in the pussy.
This girl has happened like 4 or 5 times.
Excuse me. Sorry for that.
That's happened to her like 4 or 5. I'd be pissed about sir.
Had a really, really good party. Had a great time, but there was something missing. The only thing missing. There are also concerns leading into Police Remembrance Day, which is next Monday. Police will be marching as they always do.
I gotta click on this one. This is a new level of fucker.
So yeah, this shit is pretty fucking funny.
1,350.
Your fucking button sucks.
Yeah, I know. I've already realized that.
Alright, what are you showing me?
This fucking crackhead doing this dance.
Real Tyrone, huh?
Yeah.
Bling bling, smoke crack.
Bling bling, smoke crack rocks. He's on that crack pipe. His eyes, dude.
And you see his eye. Like, bitch, you
He's like,
better keep fucking walking, bitch. Look at him lick his lips. Look at that guy looking at him.
he's looking right at him. Do not do drugs, kids. Don't do them. Remember, kids, there's no friends. Oh, jeez.
He's fucking ripped, though.
He is, dude. As you said, he's hella swole up. So what happens when you smoke crack?
He'll post the fucking video when he gets a chance, Chris.
Yep. This is crazy.
I'm gonna do a little crack dance.
He like drop crack rocks all the ground, dude. Oh, jeez.
Sad thing is, I work with guys like this,
I've seen
dude.
2 guys that look exactly like that guy. Look at him, dude. He's loving. Look at him. Licking his
Oh shit! About to blast. He can't even get his fucking flame to it.
He's all paranoid. He's like, oh, I hit it. I did it. I did it. I hit it. He's putting his little shirt on. Like, I don't look weird at all. He looks like Golem, dude, in the fucking Lord of the Rings, dude. Hiding in the fucking alleys, smoking crack.
Sad thing is, he's having more fun than me and you combined.
Oh, he was having a blast there. Yeah, I'll put that one up on the RowdCAST page. I put it up. That is fucking crazy. But so did you hear this shit about the fucking ice shelf melting? In the
Yeah,
next
you were
5
saying
years?
something about it. I don't know.
Dude, it doesn't surprise me though at all because I mean, you know, people have been denying global warming for a long time, and global warming is real as fucking ever.
Well, what's global warming opposed to? Global cooling? You know, it's either going to be cooling, it's going to be getting
So
warmer.
you're saying it's either going to be an ice age or that video's been posted.
Well, we're in an ice age. Until the polar caps are melt, that will be the end of an ice age. We're still in an ice
Really?
age. Yeah, you never knew that? Yeah, the ice age that, you know, the glaciers we had in Ohio created the Great Lakes. Yeah, we're still in that ice age. Everything's just receded up to the polar caps now. And that still signifies that we're in an ice age.
Do you think eventually, like California and Florida will be underwater?
Florida will be.
Yeah, Florida will be for sure.
I don't know about California. I know they have a lot of steep cliffs, shit like that. But I'm sure the majority of California will be there. But motherfuckers in LA be fucked.
Have you seen the pictures of that lake I think it's. I think it was out in Nevada. I think it's Lake Mead. Or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
It shows a receipt.
Yeah.
Like, only like 6 or 7 months.
Yeah,
That's scary.
There's no
man.
water in it or
That's
some shit,
scary,
basically.
man.
But all we're doing as humans are just speeding up this global warming process.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to adapt to it. We're going to evolve to it. We're going to continue on. We can't keep going the same way we're going. But everyone wants to blame these, essentially everyone's blaming fucking coal-burning power plants. Is what everyone's going after with this big green push. Look what everyone's driving around. That's their own little a fossil fuel burning power plant.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, that's what it is. And, everyone wants to point their fingers, oh, the coal burners, we need to do something. We need windmills and solar panels. No, we need to quit driving fucking cars around.
Yeah.
We talk about, and you can talk about China and Japan and all this shit. Okay, if your neighbors aren't jumping on the clean air shit, it's pointless.
Yeah, what are you?
China has so much pollution; it has changed the world's Gulf Stream. Like,
really?
Yeah, the way shit comes out of fucking China, it's fucked everything up.
Because of all the pollution that's there?
Because all the pollution that's coming out and the heat that it's creating, and it's getting in the wind and shit like that. It's fucking shit up. It's changing the world's climate.
Wow.
But look at how many fucking most people. A lot of people have 2 fucking cars in this country. There's a lot of pollution just coming from vehicles. There's no answer. I mean,
no,
we're just gonna keep fucking it up till we're fucking done. I mean, essentially, that's it.
I was hearing this.
The whole global warming thing, yeah.
I did this.
Speeding it up.
This inspection for a dude that worked. There's a chemical plant that's outside of town, right by the turnpike, and I'm pretty sure it's the barium that they fuck around with there, but it's something they want for the government and shit like that. And he said once you get that shit on you, like they call it it's not the word isn't exposed, but it means like exposed. Once you have that in you, government writes you like a $25,000 check, or it might even be more than that, like $50,000 check, and it says sorry, you can continue to work here or you can quit. Because he said almost everybody it's been exposed to it, but he said so top secret that even their supervisors don't even know what they're working on. It's like, what, dude?
It's crazy.
They have people come all the time for the FBI and shit, and come in. I don't know, man. And that's right outside of town. It's a little small chemicals plant.
Outside of here?
Yeah.
Where at?
It's outside of Fremont. On the way on the turnpike, you go by. It looks like a bunch of big drones, kind of big white factory looking thing. Yeah. Top secret fucking hush hush. Fucking with the chemicals, doing fuckery.
Fucking mutating fish and shit.
Yep. And you gotta think of all the time before we knew better, dude, about
Well, see, that's what it is. We're guinea pigs.
Yeah.
I mean, every race is going to be a guinea pig. Like, you look at, the nuclear industry, how they would have workers fucking go in, for 45 minutes working, and then they all drop dead of cancer. Like, well, we better only let them go in for a half hour. And then it's fucking, well, we better only let them go in 20 minutes. Well, we better only let them go in for 10 minutes. What's the next thing? When we're all old and falling dead, everyone's falling dead because they fucking had cell phones in their pockets for 30 fucking years. They all got this cancer on their fucking leg growing.
Yeah. What'd you say, Chris? There's no way to change it when you have billions of vehicles unless everyone just drops their gas card for green cars. We are not in the evolution of any change. We are in the era of big changes to the evolution. We are learning from this technology we have, etc. Will not see the change till we're in an old age. And
we're witnessing the change right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
part of the change.
Yeah, I'm a Boilermaker. I work in coal burning power plants. I'm hoping coal burning power plants are around for another 30
that's
years.
good for business.
But that's good for my business, for me. But what I would hate to see would be, say I have kids someday or something, I would hate for them to have to grow up and see coal burning power plants. I'd like for, when they're in their 50s, like, oh yeah, coal burners, yeah, they closed those last ones down when I was just turning 20 or something,
Yeah.
I don't know. But as far as like cars and everything, yeah, you can't stop it. The fucking people like fucking driving their car, 500 feet to go pick up a pizza, or
you can walk.
or drive 700 feet to fucking go pick up their kid from school. Like it's laziness, and that's what American is completely lazy. We like everything at the snap of our fingers.
Everything convenient.
Yeah, and if we're killing the planet to do that, who cares? I mean, look at plastic. Plastic itself has consumed everything. Everything you buy is wrapped in plastic. Half the fucking foods you buy are in plastic.
And we know it's the hardest to dispose.
Hardest thing to dispose. 10,000 years, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can get fucking hemp. You can make hemp plastic that will self-decompose in 10 years. So you can get a water bottle, throw it out your fucking window, and in 10 years it's going to decompose.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking awesome.
I mean... But that's and what it all comes down to is politics again. We can go this whole hemp way. People have known about it for years, but politicians keep it illegal. I mean, and we're witnessing change. That's for sure. You're seeing people come more and aware. You're seeing a lot more solar panels. People wanting to be efficient. People recycling. People looking at natural resources and being like, hey, this is the way to go. You can grow a forest of hemp and produce enough paper that would take 20 years of timber to grow.
I think that is 100% the way to go is hemp. Start relying a little more on hemp to help us out.
With everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just... It's shocking.
And I mean, I beat this like a dead horse, but dude, the fucking benefits of cannabis oil and stuff, they're thinking big things are coming for that. I'm talking about curing cancer and
they're not going to cure it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. They're still suppressing it.
Yeah.
It's stopping tumor growth and shit like that. I mean, that's what they're starting to figure out, but who knows?
Yeah.
They're I mean, it's crazy. And you are going to die sometime of something. You have to, but you try to,
or do you?
Yeah, maybe not.
That's the evolution we're going into is fucking robots.
Where you download your fucking consciousness onto a hard drive, and I'm going into the cloud forever. Forever. It's like, once you do it, your body just falls over, throw it in the fucking pile, and you're done. You can't ever come back. But if you live forever, would you do it? Or would you rather die? It's like being immortal.
I'd rather die.
I would too. I think you...
Because I think we get a good chance coming back to the same place. Or you die and you just wake up fucking around a couple buddies. Like, what the fuck happened last night? Like, dude, you blacked out drunk. Like, all right, let's go with it.
That Edge of Tomorrow movie, it's like that. Like, every time you die, you just wake up again in like a different life. I think that's how it is.
Well, that really wasn't how the movie went, because you kept waking up in the same spot on the duffel bags.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But part of me, part of me feels like whatever you believe in is going to happen. If you believe you're going,
that's what Jehovah's Witness believe, man.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's telling me, he's like, well, some of us partake in communion and stuff. He's like, some of us, if we take communion, he says, we're going to heaven. He said, I don't take communion. I'm not going to heaven. I'm staying right here. I was like, what? I was like, what are you talking about, man? He's like,
I got the news.
He's like, there's 20,000 people. 20,000 people are going to walk through Armageddon unscathed, and we're going to inherit the earth. He said, my people. I said, your people. And then I said, what? And he said, my mom believed she was going to heaven, though. So she's going to wait in heaven until we take over the earth, and then she comes back. I was like, he's like, she's in her grave right now? And he's like, yeah, in her coffin. I was like, she's just laying there, waiting to come back. He was like, yeah. I was like, I don't understand how it's going to work. I was like, your mom going to be like a zombie?
I don't quite understand the physics.
Like you. And that's what I'm saying. He's telling me dinosaurs don't exist. Or, like dinosaurs.
Well, get this.
That's pretty much what he tries to say, that dinosaurs weren't as old as
Well, basically,
like 65
some of what
million
I was
years.
trying to say was, if you believe you're going to hell, you're going to hell. You believe you're going to heaven, you're going to heaven. You believe you're going on some kind of crazy DMT trip and meeting all kinds of gods, that's probably what's going to happen. But I was working with this one guy. He's a real church-going guy, and I wasn't making fun of him because, you know, like, I've had spiritual experiences, like, make me believe in God, shit like that. And I've ran into the devil more times than once, really make me believe in God.
Too, yeah.
But I was asking him, because I kind of like hearing old stories, and, like, they have good wisdom to their stories, shit like that. But I was asking him, you know, just, you know how you're talking about dinosaurs and shit. And I asked him, I'm like, what? He's like, well, the Earth's only 5,000 years old, shit. Yeah. And I'm like, you really believe that? He was like, yes, I do. I'm like, really? You really believe that?
5,000.
I'm like, 5,000 years ago. I'm like the pyramids were built 10,000 years ago. He was like, no, they weren't. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what about dinosaurs? He's like, dinosaurs? I'm like, yeah, man. You got the fossils, you got the bones. He goes, the devil put those there to
trick you,
you know,
I didn't even know. That's what, like,
make you disbelieve in God.
I was like, what?
You know, and it's like, bro, really? Like,
you're gonna drink the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, like
it's like, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, bro. I'm not drinking it. Like, that's what it's like. Realistically, like, especially in that Cosmo show, he talked about the Earth's been extinct like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Like, wiped off. There's only microscopic organisms that survived.
And I kind of feel like that's Earth's plan. Like, that's what's going to happen. Meteors go boom, 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 boom. And then, hey, check it out. That little microbe in the fucking hot springs in Montana and Wyoming fucking start bubbling again. And so, you know, you got insects crawling out and rats and fucking it, game on. Yeah. It's just it's a dance. It keeps doing it.
Yeah,
it's infinity.
Yep.
Oh
yeah, dude, it's that's insane, man. I mean, evolution, and that's my thing is you can't like there's some shit you just can't buy, like, and that's one thing that creeps me out about religion. Like you believe in Bigfoot? No. You believe in aliens? No. Like, but yet you believe there's a big guy floating above the earth. And fucking
looking down on us.
Yep, and you got to do everything right so you can go up with him. It's like, dude, that's kind of crazy. But that's not even as crazy as like, dude, have you seen anything on the Scientologists, like what they really believe?
No,
like,
but I've been hearing about Rogan's talking about all kinds of crazy shit on the podcast.
Dude, L. Ron Hubbard, dude, he's a fucking
I know about it.
Dude, he's a fucking weirdest. You know, they believe that like he's like millions of years ago. There was this planet, and there were people on it, just like you, that wore stuff just like you, and drove cars just like you, and he's like, everything was just like us, even better. And he's like, and then the government started taking the people and the prisoners and shipping them away in these planets, and they'd shoot them into volcanoes. And when they shoot them into volcanoes, their spirit, the Thetans, these little spirits would come out of all their sins. He's like, and you know what planet that was? That's this planet. And they went inside of all of us.
See,
you know, like how crazy is that?
This is my take on religion. Go eat mushrooms.
Yeah.
Go eat fucking mushrooms and you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, you'll figure out whatever your mind and heart is supposed to believe in.
Yeah.
Like, because to me, there's not just one God. There's many gods.
Yeah. Like, the Indians were onto something.
The Indians,
corn god. Pray to the corn god, gives you corn.
Well, like the cosmic god, Shiva. Like when I smoke DMT, that's what I seen. Like I'm like, oh, don't
10 eyes and all arms. And shit.
I'm like, don't make eye contact. It'll shoot you down. So I didn't. Like I just like looked out of the corner of my eye and like there it was, like guiding me through the cosmic, dude. Like,
wow.
Just taking me through space, like, all right, bro, I got you, man. Get in my spaceship.
So that's what like doing smoking DMT is just like you get sucked into a wormhole.
Basically, that's the best way to describe it. Like you see all these geometric patterns. Like I need to smoke some more. It's been a while, but like you see all these geometric patterns, and then like as soon as you close your eyes, it's like a vacuum. You're getting sucked into another fucking You go to another dimension. Simple as that.
That's what it sounds like.
Sounds
intense.
Like for me, it was like I was getting all the knowledge of all the universes. I was like trigonometry is like coming by. I'm like seeing all these mathematical equations. I'm like, I got trigonometry. Algebra. How did I not get that in high school? Simple. Now we're doing languages. French, Spanish. I'm getting all the languages. I'm getting extinct languages. I'm getting all this information of all the universe, and it's like I'm so happy. I'm like, oh Shane, everything you're doing right now, fucking, you're on task, you're doing a good job, yeah, you fucked up a little bit there, but you had to do that to understand this.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I'm like, oh, this is great, and I'm getting so much out of this, and then like you start feeling it wear off a little bit. It's like, it's like, no, I don't remember anything. Oh, shit, man, I just went through that, but I don't remember. How do I explain this? Like, I was explaining it to people. We were watching the fucking movie Thor, the Avengers movies, but the first Thor one, and he's on the fucking Rainbow Bridge teleporting to other fucking universes, and like I was telling like Kurt and like fucking a couple other people, I'm like, dude, it was like that, They like look at me like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm like, no, I'm explaining it wrong because you do want to do this. I'm telling you.
Too crazy, man.
Well, that time, like I told you about it, and you're like, oh yeah, man, like you got to try it right. You're like, oh, I don't know, man, I'm getting kind of old. I don't know if I'm about tripping anymore. I'm like, oh, it's only like 20 minutes. It's not like a real trip. I'm like, oh, maybe, And I'm telling you the stories, and then like a couple weeks go by, and you call me up, like, dude, Hamer, I work with a couple of these guys. They smoked that DMT shit. I'm like, oh, did they like get you something? Did you smoke it? No, but they described it the same way you did. I'm like, yeah, dude. And you're like, well, first off, I gotta apologize to you. I'm like, what are you gonna apologize to me? I honestly just thought you went crazy, bro. I thought you overdid it and did some shit, and you were gone, man. You were, like.
I don't remember that conversation, but I'm sure it was something like that.
It's exactly how it was.
I'm sure it was.
Because it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
God. Yeah, I've always wanted to try. I've heard it's like a different experience. It's something you gotta try.
You gotta try it. I mean, it's it's like if they reinvented weed, you'd be like, I don't know, man. I like the old, like, man, let me try that new shit.
Let me just hit it one more time. Yeah, man,
Oh,
that's
shit.
yeah, man. It's fucking. I'll tell you what. That rock. So I went to Rock on the Range yesterday. And
How was that?
It was interesting, man. Like I said, it was really cool.
Tell your fans I'm getting.
It was real fucking cool. It was it was intense. They got 3 days full of all kinds of old rockers. Scott Weiland was there, and Godsmack, Papa Roach, and all these heavy metal bands that aren't as big and stuff. But it's just it was a really cool experience. Tons of people there. Great day for it. But it's just almost like there's too much going on to try to catch everything. Jim Norton was there as a comedian. They had a comedy tent, and but yeah, it's just almost like too much going on to keep. It just wears you out, man, because you're running around, you're sweating, you're fighting with people, get spots, and it's. But it was a blast, It was a lot of fun, just a lot of people, and it's an interesting. Papa Roach was awesome. Godsmack was awesome. Judas Priest kind of sucked. I just wasn't
Judas
really.
Priest, man.
I mean, they were rocking hard, but it just wasn't my style. It was kind of weird. They were the headliners, but you.
A Saturday night headliner too.
Yeah.
I really didn't understand that one.
Yeah, I don't either. Maybe that's the only time they could play or something, and they're kind of a big
Well,
deal.
if that was the only time they could play, then I was like, well, we really don't need you. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't
We'll
get that
somebody
one.
else to fill.
I didn't get that one. It seemed like Friday night should have been Saturday night.
Yeah.
But the Friday nights always suck, so maybe they were like, oh, we need to make a Friday night really good. I don't know.
No, either.
I didn't go. I said, fuck that shit.
So, I was talking to you, too, about that, the Obama thing with, where they're saying now that Osama bin Laden, it was, like, set up or, it was, they didn't tell it exactly how it happened and about this conspiracy to it,
Well, see, I heard Osama bin Laden got killed years ago.
I heard that, too.
And there was, like, this French journalist or some shit, like, brought it up on, like, TV, and they're like, oh, yeah, and President Obama says, he, took out Osama, and she's like, well, yeah, the, intelligence says, blah, 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 that Osama was taken out 3 years ago. and then like a week later, that chick winds up dead.
I heard about that too. Yeah, she was like some like chancellor or something. And like,
Something like that.
I mean,
but did you see any pictures? Like, did it like?
And the weird thing, I was like, oh, we're gonna put his ashes in an urn and we're gonna go throw it out to sea, or throw his body in the sea or something. It's like, what?
It's like,
You're gonna take a couple pictures. You just killed the cat. Like,
can't put it on TV. The body of some. And here's the other thing: when you bomb somebody, anyone with a beard and a turban looks like Osama bin Laden. Like,
with a scraggly ass beard. It's like, dude, they all.
Wait a minute,
like
they didn't
that.
bomb him. They shot him in the
Everybody
head.
looks like that.
Yeah.
It's, you know, there's another thing I just seen the other day on the news. It was like yesterday or something. They said
there's nothing the government does that doesn't surprise me.
No, not at all. They said that there was a
fucking weird world.
It's so fucking weird. But they were saying that there was this head operative of ISIS killed in Syria, and they did a midnight raid. These special SEALs went in and killed this motherfucker.
Yeah, I seen that.
And they were like, he was in charge of the oil fields. It's like ISIS. He was in charge of the oil fields and gas, propane, and shit like that. It's like, no, sorry, dude, you picked the wrong fucking job. It's like, it's too bad they didn't put you in charge of something else.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you're dead now. Like, you don't fuck with the oil, dude. Yeah. Like, you know, that's the only reason they made like a big deal out of it. It's like, that's the only reason he killed. If he would have been in charge of like human trafficking or something, or like
hey, man, everyone needs a good horse, so just
like, we're
might be in the market here in a couple months.
It's like, oh, you took care of the oil fields? Yeah, you're dead. You're dead tonight.
Yeah,
we're sending them in the middle of the night.
We got 3 drones, not just in case the first 2 fuck up.
We got one that shoots fucking.
We got one that's just gonna shoot fucking bald eagles at you for an hour. I heard ISIS was killing bald eagles.
What?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah,
all around the world?
Yep.
Really?
They're putting on bounties.
Really?
$2,500 bald eagle heads.
Nuh-uh. Yeah. Are you fucking blowing smoke on my ass, dude? What the fuck? I don't believe that shit.
You shouldn't.
I did.
True. But now that it's on the internet,
that's happening.
Yeah, just for saying it, we're gonna be getting fucking flagged.
That is happening, man. Well, but my thing is like this. Like, I used to believe like every conspiracy. Like, if you told me a conspiracy is like, I believed it, dude. You know, you could tell me like
Well, here's the thing about conspiracies: whether or not you believe them. You ask questions. Yeah. And that's the thing about conspiracies.
You should ask questions, too.
You know, like, I seen one thing on fucking John F. Kennedy about how that the shooter was Oswald, but it was after the first shot, there was a guy in the car behind him with an M16 Secret Service guy who, like, stood up to, like, see where the shots were coming from, and then, like, when he gunned it, like, to catch up to the president's motor carriage or whatever, he like went back in his seat and the fucking round accidentally fired off, and like the dude that fucking, it was on Netflix, it was like JFK smoking gun or something.
Really?
But like the fucking trajectory, like the passenger seat isn't like normally like how the fucking a passenger seat is. The way they like build them fucking cars would like they move the front seats in closer together, so the magic bullet wasn't a fucking like a hook shot or whatever. It was the way the seats were fucking mounted in there, so it went like through the fucking neck here and like or like through the neck here and angled through and hit here and then hit his wrist and hit his fucking thing. Or, you know, he wasn't directly in front of him, he was off to the fucking side a little bit. And then he was like, okay, and you see the pictures of this guy standing up in the back of the Secret Service car behind the fucking president, standing up, M16. Okay, watch him fall back on his seat or whatever, like when they gun it or whatever, and like the bullet trajectory would have been perfect line for the, like, you remember how like his head explodes? Yeah. Like, it's fucking like, well, how does the head explode like that? You know, like that's a fucking... You know,
it don't even look real.
It was different ammo too because the bullets that fucking Oswald were shooting didn't mushroom. They weren't hollow points, and the fucking bullet that went through fucking Kennedy's head was a fucking hollow point. That's why it exploded like that.
Really?
Because it mushroomed out. You know, it hit and mushrooms to where Oswald's bullets were just going straight through, and then they'll like start spinning and shit. And that's how they do their damage. But like after seeing like that whole conspiracy, it was like, well, that's probably the best evidence I've ever heard. But I didn't want to believe it, you know. It's like, man, no, there's guys on the grassy knoll, like you know, like I seen it. I'm like, oh man, like that makes more sense than anything I've ever heard. Like, fuck, no, you know. But now it kind of makes more sense. Some fucking rookie, fucking Secret Service saying, boom, what was that? Wow, oh shit, I just shot the president. Like, cover it up, saw his fucking head off, like. All this weird shit they were doing to him, like, on Air Force One, like...
You never know, man. You don't know.
Like, perfectly mint bullet. They drop a perfectly mint bullet. Like, oh, that's the bullet that went through 2 people. It's like it's not even blemished. Like, you go shoot a bullet through a fucking pop can, it's going to deform a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's fucking...
That, you know, it's... Like you said, it's like you need to always be, like, learning. Like, yeah, I believe something. Oh, of course, dude, I believe fucking in Bigfoot and all that shit. It's like, now, it's like everybody's got a camera on them. If there's Bigfoot out there, everybody's going to have him on video camera.
Well, see,
you know?
like, my big hunting buddy, Gene Wenzel, fucking, he talks about, he was like, these Bigfoot guys, have they ever thought about just leaving a trail camera out for a year? These trail cameras you can make now, they make battery life for a year. You know, where like you used to have to go back like every 2 weeks to change batteries. It was a motherfucker. It's expensive, and then like you're getting shitty pictures. Like, oh man, this camera sucks. Oh, flash is too high. Oh, batteries are dead again. Like now they got them where you fucking put in batteries are good for a fucking year. Go stick those fucking in the fucking jungle of fucking Alaska, like in Canada, shit like that, and
with the fucking Yeti, the abominable snowman.
Well, it's proven. I mean, there was a Bigfoot at one time.
Yeah, that's true. And are they still alive? Maybe not. Maybe. Same thing with like Loch Ness Monster. That's just a dinosaur.
I think it was what Les Stroud was talking about.
Something that was real at one time.
Where he heard a fucking primate, like a primate kind of noise, where it was like, ooh, ooh, ah! You know, like this weird fucking noise in the bush. He's like, I don't know what it was. Don't know what it was. And then there's this big time hunter, Jim Shockey, and I'm pretty sure he said like he's heard the same thing. Like, what's the weirdest thing you've ever heard? He's like, heard this one thing, man. I don't know if it was a Bigfoot or something, but it sounded like a primate. But then again, like elk can make some weird fucking
freak out.
Yeah, like some kind of like weird noise like that, and that's kind of like how Les Stroud, like how he said it. And but like when an elk bugles, they usually go.
But it's like he's the fucking survivor man, you know.
That's like your normal elk
bugle.
Survivor
man, he's gonna know what the animals sound like. You know, he's
but if you just hear the without the long bugle part, if you just because when they fall off the bugle, they'll go. But they could do the without the bugle. That's gonna sound fucked up. Almost
a gorilla or something.
Or there's a Bigfoot.
Or there is a Bigfoot out there. You never know. You see they're bringing the X-Files back?
Yeah, I was never a big X-Files fan.
I was such a big fan of the X-Files, man. I was obsessed. I mean, it got to the end, it got shitty, you know, and it kind of played out, so they needed to end it. But this would be interesting, I think, with the same people.
There was a couple of good episodes I remember watching shit, but it always came on like after The Simpsons, and like it was like Simpsons, Married with Children, X-Files. Just like the music was like, turn it off.
It was, dude. It's a weird. You know, but you look back, all the, you know, the guy that wrote Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. He started writing for the X-Files. Some of the best episodes he wrote, and like all these Bryan Cranston, all those guys got their start on the X-Files. It's kind of weird. You see how many talented people had stuff to do with that, actually. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how they bring it back, what they do to it. You know. I just like David Duchovny. He just seems like a cool motherfucker.
He is a cool motherfucker. That Californication.
He's got a band now that just came out.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They were playing them on Sirius the other day. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
It's fucking David Duchovny, man.
Yeah.
Does whatever.
Fucking legend, dude.
Fucking Hank.
Well, I think probably ended on that unless you got something else you want to plug or talk about, Hamer. That was interesting fucking hour and almost 2 hours with you.
Yeah,
It's always great to fucking bring you on with me and just bullshit with you. I mean, if we were just having this same conversation in your living room, it's
basically we're just recording it.
Yeah, so and we appreciate letting it share with you guys and everybody that listens to me still. This is like the 43rd, 42nd one I've ever done. So, hey, man, we're almost that 50th episode. I have to do something fucking great, like a special edition or something, do something wild.
Fucking a smoke down party.
Yeah, maybe we'll get like 10 people and just
we should
down.
get a stripper for the podcast.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be really cool.
How about a midget stripper?
Dude, that's the weird thing. I've been like I've never seeked into midgets. Maybe that could be my new thing.
Midget fetish, dude.
I just start banging a midget, got a midget around all the time. Everyone's weirded out. Dude, Hamer's into midgets.
Dude,
have you fucked one yet?
Dude,
it's weird, but it's cool at the same time.
It's dude, when he pulls up, 3 midgets get out of his car, dude. It's like a circus. Fucking Hamer, dude. There he goes. You can't even see him, dude. You see the tops of their heads.
He's eating weed cookies and banging midgets, man. He's on a whole nother fucking level.
Dude, it's twisted, man. It's fucking...
well, they don't like being called midgets.
Why don't they like being called
I don't
midgets?
know. I guess it's little people or dwarfs now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. But
I don't know.
I guess
I know
should.
them as midgets,
now,
but...
Now you made me
It's
sound all racist.
Yeah. That's like colored folks. That's not cool to say. I remember I was in school, and I'm she was like, what kind of people were they saying? I'm like, colored people. And they're like, yeah, that's racist. I'm like, what? I thought that's what you were supposed to say. No, you're supposed to say blacks.
You're not supposed to say blacks. You go ahead and say it first.
I'm like, I thought blacks was inappropriate and coloreds were the way to say it. Because you always heard it on TV. Oh, the colored boy from down the street.
And Chris, I got your messages about the personal military contracts and mercenaries and shit. That's probably something good to talk about next time. I'll take a look at your video too and look into that because I know a lot about that. The mercenaries we send over there and shit like that. It's pretty intense.
Hired killers.
Yeah, those guys are fucking nuts, dude. So I appreciate everybody listening to this shit. Like I said, download it, share it, fucking. I can't say thank you enough to everybody that still listens, still tunes into it. So, thank you very much. Thank you, Shane Hamer.
Thanks for
my
having
buddy.
me.
Always a fucking blast to have on here and talk to. So, I'm out. We're out. It's another Sunday night. I will not be back next week.
Want to get some pussy?
Yeah, I'll be on the road, heading back here. So, won't be getting a new RowdCAST. But maybe I'll record something during the week and I'll put it up. On Sunday, just for everybody to hear. So, I'm out. Have a good Sunday night. Peace.